Good evening, Bhante and all Kalyana Mita Sikihontu. I'm Aliana and welcome to Sutta Discussion Day 65 by Bhante Dr. Ganggo Dawila Chandima. Tonight's class is the 16th class of Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, and we are going to continue discussing the first noble truth with three perspectives, or Ti-Ratana. Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta is the fifth sutta from the total of 10 sutta that have been chosen by Bhante Chandima for the sutta discussion. For those who have missed our previous classes, please check our Ti-Ratana Vihara Aman Pradana Class Facebook page and YouTube channel. We have uploaded the previous 64 classes there. The Sutta discussion Zoom class is always open, therefore whoever that wish to join the class via Zoom where we can engage directly with Bhante can contact us on Ti-Ratana Vihara Aman Pradana Class Facebook Messenger. We are always welcoming newcomers. Our speaker, Bhante Dr. Ganggo Dawila Chandima, is the Associate Editor of the Journal of International Buddhist Studies, JIBS, which is published by the Buddhist Research Institute of Mahachulalongkorn Raja Vidyalaya, a university in Thailand. He was previously a research fellow at the Center for Studies in Religion and Society, CFRF, in the University of Victoria, Canada. Bhante Chandima was also Theravada Buddhist chaplain at the University of British Columbia in Vancouver, Canada from 2012 to 2016. Bhante is currently the senior advisor to Sutta, a virtual Dharma organization that hosts a weekly online Pali reading class, Sutta discussion, Dharma talks, and a variety of other Dharma activities. His Dharma works can be accessed at http://patisutta.blogspot.com. Without further ado, we welcome once again Bhante and thank you very much for the wonderful talk. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Aliana, for the gracious introduction. And good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the 65th Sutta discussion that we will be hosting today. It's been some time. This is almost the year of retirement. Huh? When somebody comes to 65, that means a full sign that one has to retire. But Dhamma is not something that we need to retire from. So, all right. So today we have Kelvin is back. Are you in Malaysia or in Sri Lanka?
I'm in Malaysia one day.
All right. How many days?
I was there for about 9 days. Yeah.
9 days. Okay. A little over a week. Great. So we have Kelvin, Sadris, Prabu, Jacqueline, Aliana, Lim, TC Lim. I think some others might join. Yes, we proceed. All right. So before we get started, let's pay respect to the Buddha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tasse bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tasse bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tasse bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. How is Sister Na after your medical appointments?
Better.
Good? Better? Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great.
I will know the result next week.
Oh, spending.
Yeah, they
Okay.
did some tests.
Okay. Hope that something good will come to you. We will bless.
Thank you.
And yes. All right. So, Dhamma folks, I'm now in Melaka, the temple called Shakyamuni Buddhist Vihara. This temple, I think, was built in 2019. It's a pretty brand new temple. Yes. All right. So, and Okay, moving on to our topic today. So, as you all know, we completed the basic definitions of the Noble Truths. I would say Dukkha Ariya Satya, Dukkha Samudaya Ariya Satya, Dukkha Nirodha Ariya Satya, Dukkha Nirodha Gamini Patipada Ariya Satya. Oh, do we have a newcomer over here? Is Sokhoon, are you new to this discussion?
I joined Facebook, but
All
today I
right.
joined this Zoom to see how I
So
get
you got guts to come here. Good.
but still,
Now
yeah, an effort to do it.
All right. From the invisible space to the visible space now. That's a good sign. All right. So we completed discussing about definitions about each noble truth. I think for over, I guess, 15 classes. So we spent 15 classes to talk about what is Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta and what is Kamasukallikana Yoga, what is Attakilamatana Yoga, what is the Noble Eightfold Path in general. And then we went from the first path factor to the 8, Samma Ditti, Samma Sankappa, Samma Vacha, Samma Kammanta, Samma Ajiva, Samma Vayama, Samma Sati, Samma Sama. And then what we did, then we moved on to the first noble truth by definition, the Dukkha Ariya Satya. Then we discussed Dukkha Samudaya Ariya Satya. Then we discussed Dukkha Nirodha Ariya Satya. I think last week we discussed again kind of a revision about the Noble Eightfold Path. Right? So today we are moving on to a very, I think the most important, I wouldn't say most important, one of the very, probably the methodology of how we supposed to understand the Four Noble Truths. You know, we discussed about Dhammacakka, right? Dhammacakka at the beginning, right? What did we discuss about Dhammacakka? We discussed that the modern Dhammacakka has some implication. What are the implications of a modern Dhammacakka? It is apparently not a wheel. Some of the spokes have come out, so it can't turn, right? If it is a wheel, spokes have to be within the wheel, right? Otherwise, it won't be able to turn, set in motion. That is something we discussed. And we also discussed then, how can Dhammacakka become a wheel in terms of the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta? It becomes a wheel under a very interesting context of this sutta. We call it Ti-Ratana Dwadasakara. What are they? Ti-Ratana Dwadasakara, 2 Pali words. I'm going to show you that a little bit. Have a, I would say, all right. I think you should be able to see my screen. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So now this is what we're going to learn. Actually, today we are going to discuss only this part. This part. Huh? So that means each noble truth has 3 perspectives. Satya, Kitcha, Katha. Second, Satya, Kitcha, Katha. Third, Satya, Kitcha, Katha. Fourth, Satya, Kitcha, Katha. That is how we look at it as the Parivatta. Vatta, I would say, Vatta means a circle. You can say it is a wheel. Each Tiparivatta, there's a Tiparivatta for each noble truth. Each Tiparivatta has 3 aspects. So when you multiply those 3 by 4, you will get 12 aspects. So we call it Dwadasakara. How do we understand this Pali term, Dwadasakara? Let's look at some Pali over here. All right. Dasa. What does Dasa mean?
10.
10. Dasa means Dasa means 10. Huh? Right? And then Dwa,
2.
2. Right? This becomes 12. Huh? And then here, Ti.
3.
T means 3. Yeah? Ti parivatta. Pari. What is this? Pari. Pari means a prefix. Huh? Pari means around. Probably entirely. Entirely. Maybe fully. Can you remember any Pali word which has pari at the beginning?
Parinibbana.
Parinibbana is a very, let's talk about that a little bit. This one. It is not nibbana. This one is nibbana, right? Then there's another word called parinibbana. Now, when we look at the both meaning, we will find out what is going on with pari. Okay. Pari. What is this? What are these two words actually? These two words mean nibbana. All right. Are these two stages of nirvana or are they 2 times of nibbana?
2 kinds.
2 times.
2 times. Nibbana is one kind. It's one kind. But there are 2 times you are going to the fruition, completion of the nibbana. For example, when you live, when you are not dead, you are trying to overcome your kilesas, asavas, defilements. This is what we are trying, right? Cultivating wholesome thoughts and all that. Then you will attain, one day, if you are able, you will attain Nibbana. Right? Nibbana. But are you complete in your Nibbana? No. Because you still carry your body. You have Panchakkhandha, Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. So still you have pain, you have still physical problem. You have other things like other people, right? Because you carry the normal body, maintain. Then Paranibbana means
Finish.
yeah, the moment you die, then you are going to not, you already are, you into Nibbana, you are a Nibbanic person. That means you are an Arahant. Once you die, you will go to Parinibbana. That means not Nibbana, not even Nibbana, Parinibbana. Entirely, you are entirely an Arahant. You are entirely attaining the Nibbana. Pari means entirety, fully. The whole surrounding of that particular function, this whole thing of that particular subject. All right. Now, what do we say about the Buddha? Shakyamuni Buddha, on a Vesak full moon day, passed away as per the Anupadisesa Nibbana. That means Anupadisesa Kilesa Nibbana, then Anupadisesa. That means he has no Panchakkhandha anymore. That is the completion of the Nibbana. All right. Let me tell you a very cool story. Yeah? Now, has anybody heard about the 9th jhana? First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth. The first 8, they are Hindu jhanas. First, second, third, fourth. Then they are material jhanas, Rupavachara. And then Arupavachara jhanas, we call them Akasananchayatana, Akinchanyayatana, Vinyananchayatana, Sananasanyayatana. But then the Shakyamuni Buddha says, if you are lucky enough, if you have practiced like more of, if you are an Arahant, if you are so able to do that, you may practice the 9th jhana. We call it Nirodha Samapatti. Let me type that for you. 9 jhana is only a Buddhist one. We call it Nirodha Samapatti or Sanya Vedaita Nirodha. All right. You got it right? 9 jhana. Now, some monks, some arahants, even the Shakyamuni Buddha or some Buddhas, they want to try this out. Why do they want to try this out when they are alive? Anybody has an educated guess about it? What will happen under the 9 jhana? This is a Buddhist one, actually. Your perceptions and your feelings are going to be stopped temporarily. When you don't have perceptions, when you don't have feelings, what will happen to you? It is a different state. We as Putajjanas and unenlightened beings, we can't go there. Why do some arahants, capable arahants or samma sambuddhas do that? They want to feel what will happen to them after they die. They want to feel what will happen to me after I die. I have no sanya, no nothing. So they enjoy that state of mind. Sanya, the 9th jhana, right? So now I'm trying to say that, we talk about two timings of the Nibbana, Kilesa Nibbana and then Kanda Nibbana, right? So Kanda Nibbana means Parinibbana. That's why when an Arahant passes away, we don't say he dies, she dies. What do they say? We say Arahant goes to Parinibbana. He or she goes to Parinibbana. Right? But for us, how do we call our death? We die because we continue to be reborn. Right? Because Arahants and Samma Sambuddhas or Pacceka Buddhas, they are not going to be reborn. Aliana, do we have another new person over here? Who is Barbara Yen? Is she a devotee in your temple? Hello, Barbara.
He is the friend of Brother Kevin, introduced by Brother
Oh,
Kevin.
great. Okay. Welcome to our discussion. Yeah. So, if there's anything that you don't find easy to understand, please ask any question during the time or at the end, or maybe later also on the WhatsApp group. All right. So let's go back again to our place where we discuss about pari. All right. Pari means entirety. So here, parivatta, that means there are 3 perspectives, I would say 3 wheels that are entirely working toward the noble truths. All right. So these are the 3 vattas, the parivatta that we talk about today, and also the associated 3 perspectives, aspects. We are not going to do all the aspects today because each one has to be described. One thing I want you to think about, Satcha Kitcha Katha. Satcha means the knowledge about that particular noble truth. All right. I would say this is a full knowledge, not like a half knowledge, like a little knowledge. Little knowledge is always
Dangerous.
dangerous. Yes. And so also the half knowledge, right? Better not to talk about it. Huh? Satchanyana here means that it's a full knowledge about that particular noble truth. Now, with regard to the first one, full knowledge of the first noble truth. We will talk about how we're going to understand the full knowledge. Second, Kitcha. Kitcha means your duty, what you are supposed to do. That means you need to fully understand the relevant noble truth. But it will be changed. You see, when it comes to the second noble truth, it is not to fully understand. It is to abandon. Third one, it is to realize. Fourth one, it is to develop. right? So we have Pali words for them. We say parinyeya is understand. Pahatabbang, abandon. Satchikatabbang, realization. Bhavetabbang, development. So we'll discuss them separately. All right. So the Buddha says a simple knowledge of the Four Noble Truths would not work for us. We need a we need a full knowledge of the Four Noble Truths. Today we are discussing the first Noble Truth and the associated three wheels, I would say Tiparivattas, three perspectives, and then the three aspects, because this 3 multiplied by 4, it will become 12. All right, back to our text. Where is our text? All right, so I want you to read just to understand that you are able to read properly. All right, so we are going to do from 55 to, I would say, 66, actually, not 65, 66, right? So I would ask someone to read the first 4, 55 to 58. Yeah. Dhammacakka, wheel of Dhamma, 3 perspectives. This is where it starts off, but we are only looking at the first noble truth and the Tiparivatta associated with the first noble truth and the 3 perspective. Yeah, maybe we can ask from anybody over here. Yeah, Sadharis. So please raise your hand. There's a function here. Raise your hand. Yeah, Sadharis, please go ahead.
Idam dukkham ariya sacchanti me bhikkhave pubbe anunusiti dhammesu chakham udapadi nanam udapadi panya udapadi vijja udapadi aloko udapadi.
Okay. There are some concerns that came up over here. Yeah. Now, here, let me recite first. Idang dukkhang ariya sacchanti me bhikkhave pubbe ananussutesu dhammesu chakkhum udapadi. Sadharis, it's not udapadi. This is udapadi. Now you can see here.
Yeah.
This one, udapadi, not udapadi. Chakkhum udapadi, jnanam udapadi, panya udapadi, vijja udapadi, aloko udapadi. That's how we're gonna recite. You want to try again one more time?
Okay. Idam dukkham ariya sacchanti me bhikkhave pubbe anunussutesu dhammesu chakkhum udapadi nanam udapadi.
Not nana, nya.
Jnanam udapadi.
Not udapadi, udapadi. Uda. Yes, udapadi.
Udapadi. Panya udapadi.
Great.
Vijja udapadi. Aloko udapadi.
Great. All right, others? Yeah, Dihan, go ahead.
Idam dukkham ariya saccati me bhikkhave udhammesu.
I think you are breaking up. Yeah, I didn't hear some parts
Dakkam
of it.
udapadi. Sorry.
Yeah, sometimes you are breaking up, so I think it should be okay now. Yeah, please go ahead.
Jnanam udapadi. Panya udapadi.
Mhm.
Can you hear me, Bhante?
Uh,
Sorry,
not
my
very great,
line is
but
not good.
it's
Yeah,
okay.
that's
Yeah,
why.
yeah, it's okay. Yeah, are you done? All right. Yeah, you almost said Vicha and Aloko. Yeah, somebody. Yeah, anyways. Okay. Others? Yeah. Use your raise your hand option so I can see easily. Yeah. Yeah, Sok.
Bhante, I like to try.
Yeah, please.
Okay. Idang dukkang arya sacangti me bhikkhave pube ananusutesu dhamesu cakum udapadi jnanam udapadi panya udapadi vija udapadi aloko udapadi.
Oh, great. I remember now you were participating on the online class too, right?
Yes,
Participating?
yes,
Oh, okay.
yes, yeah.
Good. I got familiar with your voice. Okay, great. Others?
I try Bhante.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Idam dukkam Arya Satchanti me bhikkhave pube ananosutesu dhamesu Chakum udapadi yanam udapadi panya
Not
udapadi
Nyanang.
yanam
Not
udapadi
Yanang.
nyanam
Good.
udapadi
Mhm.
Pana udapadi, Vija udapadi, Aloko udapadi.
Okay, great. Yeah, others?
Bhante, I'll read.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Idam dukkam arya sachanti me bhikkhave pube ananu sutesu dhamesu chakum udapadi na nyam udapadi panyan udapadi vija udapadi aloko udapadi.
Okay. Could you read this part again? A little bit difficult part, huh, for many people.
One, Bhante, which one?
Yeah,
Oh,
this part. 57 to
Okay.
50.
Chakum udapadi nyam udapadi
Nyanang. Nyanang.
Nyanan, yeah,
Not nya. Nya.
na,
Not
nya.
ny.
Okay,
Nya. Nyanang.
nyanam,
Yanam
Yes.
udapadi.
okay, nyanam udapadi, panya udapadi.
I hear a Y actually. That's
Oh,
no Y.
panya.
Panya.
Panya,
Yes, no
Panya.
Y. No
Okay.
Y.
panya udapadi, vija udapadi, aloko udapadi.
Great. So, it's
Panya.
good to then get used to, pronunciation part too. Yeah,
Panya.
others?
Panya.
Hurry up because we have to learn a lot of things if you want to recite. Yeah, read.
Can I try Bhante?
Yeah, please go ahead, Ariana.
Idang dukang Arya Sachanti me bhikkhave puppe ananusute sudamesu Chakung udapadi, Jnanam udapadi, Panya udapadi, Vija udapadi, Aloko udapadi.
Great.
Panya. Panya.
Others?
Panya. Panya. Panya.
Yeah, others?
Try Bhante.
Yes, Tislim. Yeah.
Idang dukang Arya Sacang Ti Me bhikkhave pupe analusutesu dhamesu cakung utapadi yanang
Not
utapadi.
yana, nya.
Yeah.
Nya.
Yanang
Can you pronounce panya?
panya.
The same thing. Nyanang. So just take out
Yeah.
P, PA, then nyanang.
Yanang
Not yanang.
Yeah.
Nya, nya,
Yeah.
nya.
Yanang utapadi.
Mhm.
Yanang utapadi panya utapadi viccha utapadi aloko utapadi.
Okay, great. So this part, gotta be careful. There's no Y here actually, no Y. Even in the real life, no Y, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Nyanang udapadi, yeah. Panya, panya, nya. It's a nasal. So so if you say YA or something, that's gonna be incorrect. This is incorrect. Plus it's Sanskrit, not Pali. All right, others?
Bhante,
Yeah.
Bhante, try.
Yeah, Lim, yeah, go ahead.
Idam dukkang ariya sacchanti. Me pikave pupe ananusutesu damesu. Chakum udabadi. Jnanam udabadi. Anya udabadi. Viccha udabadi. Aloko udabadi.
Great. I hear something differently. I don't know whether it is properly heard to me. Can you pronounce this word? This letter actually.
Udabadi.
Do you say udabadi or udapadi?
Udabadi.
You say B.
Oh,
It's not B, it's P.
udapadi.
Great. Can you try again? Chakkum.
Chakum udabadi. Jnanam udabadi. Anya utapadi, Viccha utapadi, Aloko utapadi.
Yes, great. This is P, not B. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Others? All right.
I'll try Bhante.
Is this okay?
Sorry. Can I try?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. Idam lukam ariya sacchanti me bhikkhave pupe ananusutesu dhamesu cakkum udapadi jnanam udapadi panya udapadi vija udapadi aloko udapadi. Thank you.
Careful pronunciation can easily pass through the sections. Very well. In Pali, don't rush. Do not rush. If you rush, you won't pronounce the letters well, right? Okay. Are there any others? Otherwise, you can go into the meaning side. All right. So we don't want to take a lot of time for this because we have another section. Idang dukkhang ariya sacha. Now, after defining the Four Noble Truths, now the Buddha wanted to tell us that these noble truths have to be understood in a proper way. The theory is there. Now the practice side, exactly the what you call understanding, that is also practice, the theory side. But now this is the methodology of how we are supposed to understand. So he is trying to then connect the first noble truth to that methodology. Idang dukkhang ariya sacha. This is the noble truth of, I would say, unsatisfactoriness. Me bhikkhave pubbe ananusutesu dhammesu chakkhung udapadi, jnanang udapadi, panya udapadi, viccha udapadi, aloko udapadi. Now, when you pronounce this part, me bhikkhave pubbe ananusutesu dhammesu, I want to show you another contrast here. Okay, have you ever found out these two? These are two Pali words, huh?
Yes, sir.
So this is the first one, second one. Now, when many people pronounce this part, they say dhammesu, dhammesu, dhammesu. That is incorrect, not dhammesu. It should be dhammesu, DH. You can see that. Dhammesu. See, aspirate. Aspirate. Where do you find this one? This first word. Give some thoughts. Where do you find that first Pali word? There's no H. Do you remember this place? Itipiso Bhagava Arahang Samma Sambuddho Vijacharana Sampanno Sugatu Lokavidu Anuttaro Purisa Dhammasarati. Yeah, those people they pronounce Purisa Dhammasarati. This is incorrect. Not Purisa Dhamma, it's a Purisa Dhammasarati. No, it's no H. What is Dhamma? Curbing those who are very violent, like Angulimala, Alavaka. So Buddha is the unparalleled teacher. At this point, the person, Anuttaro Purisa Dhammasarati, is the unparalleled person who can tame down anybody who is very violent, who is not up to the teaching, right? So he was able to tame down a lot of people, right? Animals, Nalagiri, elephant Nalagiri, Angulimala, Alavaka, who else? A lot of people, right? So now my what I call the point that I want to actually show you was that these are two Pali words. So whenever you say itipiso, never ever add an H. If you add H, that is Dhamma, that is the doctrine, right? But here it is just Dhamma, just Dhamma. Dhamma here means, what do you call? I would say taming. Taming, huh? Taming. But here, this Dhamma means exactly doctrine, I would say teaching and all that. Huh? Okay, so here, Dhammesu.
Bhante, can I ask a questions?
Yes, please.
Okay, the word, sorry, I'm confused. The word Dhamma, capital D H-A-M-M-A and small letter D H-A-M-M-A. These two are different meaning. And
if you write it properly, yes. When you say uppercase D H-A-M-M-A, that is doctrine teaching actually. But when you say lowercase D H-A-M-M-A, they are thoughts, Dhamma. Rupa Vedanas, Rupa Saddha Gandha Rasa Pottabha Dhamma, thoughts. Your mind should have thoughts. That is Dhamma. Whenever you see a Pali word, if they are really good, good at putting grammar, if they really are able to, separate out this change, they write normally D capital to be Dhamma. Let's say Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, capital. So D capital means teaching. But here, going beyond one step ahead, I was showing you something else. There is D-A-M-M. That is not Dhamma. That is neither D capital or D simple Dhamma. It is Dhamma. I think the people, when they are reciting the Buddha Vandana, they mispronounce. Say, Anuttaro Purisa Dhammasar. Pretty bad pronunciation. Purisa Dhamma. There's no H, right?
thank you, Bhante.
All right. So let's go back here again. Now, what's happening over here? Now the Buddha says to the Panchavaggiya bhikkhus, what he says, monks, bhikkhave, regarding the previously unheard of, here see, here Dhamma is not doctrine. Huh? What is it? Unheard of things. That means another meaning of the Dhamma. What is that meaning? There are many meanings of Dhamma, right? Phenomena.
Phenomena, yes.
The meaning of Dhamma here is phenomena. Right? This is neither teaching nor thoughts, phenomena. All right. So it's like Dhammanupassana, Satipatthana. Regarding the previously unheard of phenomena, What is that meant? Let's talk about it. Ananussutesu. What does ananussutesu means? Sutesu. Sutesu, heard. Sutesu means heard. Do we find these Pali words somewhere in our practice? Remember the story of Bahiya Daruchiriya? There was a man who went on a ship voyage, but in the middle of the sea, the ship is facing a lot of troubles, like a storm. So the ship was wrecked, and then most of the people died in the sea. There's one man who was able to cross to the bank, to the shore. And then he didn't find any clothes. He found out some of the wooden stuff. He made a cloth, and then he is now. So the first person who saw this person, Daruchiriya, so his name is Bahiya. Daruchiriya was a nickname. Daru means wood, someone who is wearing a cloth of wood. The first person who saw him, oh, really? You are an arahant. This happens. Even for unenlightened beings, when you see somebody with like different color, oh, it could be an arahant. Maybe someone who is very spiritual. No? That could be kind of an impression, wrong impression. So he said, yeah, I am. Because he is kind of very left alone. He has no food, he has nothing. Then one of the mothers in a past life saw that he is cheating on people. So that mother told, son, you are cheating on people, declaring you are an arahant. You are not an arahant. So I ask you to go to Savatthi, Jetavana, and see the Buddha, listen to him, follow whatever he says, and then becoming an arahant the proper way. Then, okay, all right, so I'm going to do that. So he went to see the Buddha. Then he heard from the temple, the Buddha went for Pindapat. At that time, devotees did not bring food to the temple, right? They did not. So monks have to go for Pindapat. Why is it? That was the practice. It is said that there was a story that made the king, I think Kosala or maybe another king, ask other monks that there is one monk when he was going for Pindapata. There is a woman is shown to people that he doesn't see and other monks don't see that. It's a past karma. Maybe the monk has done something bad to her in the previous life. So now she wants to give some bad reputation to the monk. So whenever a monk is going with Pindapata, she is following him. So people can see that. People get really mad. What is she doing? And then the king heard this thing. The king said, ask that monk not to go for Pindapata, stay in the temple. We will send food to the temple. So it is said that this is the first time a monk is receiving food from being in the temple. Kind of a formal beginning of receiving food in the premises of the temple. Anyways, he heard, Bahiya Daruchiriya heard that Shakyamuni Buddha went for Pindapata. Then he followed. Then he saw the Buddha with other monks. And then he approached the Buddha and asked him, can you teach me something? Then he did not say anything. That's the Pindapata time, right? So nobody wants to talk. That's Pindapata, not the Dhamma talk time. Do we have to learn Dhamma at the right time? Do we have to discuss Dhamma at the right time? Why is it? Because they are. Why do we have to do that? Can you discuss Dhamma in the washroom? They're having a shower or something? You could, but it's a disrespect. Where do we learn that? In the kind of a revision in the past. This was done by us actually, long time ago, last year. In the Mahamangala Sutta, the Buddha says, Kalena Dhammacakkappavattana, never ever discuss Dhamma at untimely hours. Right? Also, Kalena Dhammacakkappavattana, never ever listen to a Dhamma talk at an untimely hour. Right? That means do not just listen to a Dhamma talk, because that means you are not ready to learn from that. That's a problem. You might turn on the CD or DVD. You don't use CD, DVD nowadays. Maybe YouTube, you might listen, but you will not be learning out of it. You will just, okay, Dhamma, Dhamma, Dhamma. Turn on the YouTube, turn on the YouTube. That's not going to work for you. That's a disrespect. Get ready, purify yourself, and then learn something. That's good. Physically, mentally, you are ready to learn that thing. It will go into your life very well. So the Buddha did not say anything. He asked for the second time. Then he then again asked for the third time. Then the Buddha thought about what's going on. Oh, this man is going to die in a couple of minutes from now. He's going to die. He will be attacked by a cow, a female cow who had a small baby. So that is why he is pestering me, you a Dhammata. Okay, what I'm going to tell him? Not a good time, maybe a very short time, very short Dhamma teaching. Ditte dittamattam bhavisati. Sute sutamattam bhavisati. Vinyate vinyanamattam bhavisati. Vinyatamattam bhavisati. Mute mutamattam bhavisati. If you see something, a beautiful object, ugly object, just think that it is an object, and it's just a moment of that seeing only, nothing else. Do not carry the memories of that. If you hear something, just treat it as just a hearing, mere hearing. That's it. If you think, if you so and so forth, they are just mere, I would say, functioning of that particular moment. And then the Buddha left. In a moment of time, he was attacked by a cow. He passed away. Now, the reason why I told you the incident was that Sute Sutamattamba, when somebody says something bad to you, do not try to define that a lot unless it is necessary. Sometimes you give unnecessary meaning to that thing, right? Maybe one of your friends told something to you today morning. Maybe he meant something good, but you think, oh, that is a bad word. Huh? I heard it. Maybe it might mean something else. So you are trying to give additional meaning to that particular word. And finally you think, okay, he disrespected me today. Actually, he or she did not, but you add a second layer of meaning to that particular person's response. I think for the most part of our, events, life situations, it is not that people are bad to us. We give additional meaning to those people's behaviors and responses, so that we are going to mess up, and then we are going to, create a big mess around that particular incident. That's why the Buddha said to this man, he knew that he would die soon. Whenever you see something, just treat, I only saw it, that's it. Whenever you hear something, just think, I only hear that thing. That's it. Do not carry anything. So he passed away because of the attack from the cow. Then on the way Buddha saw this, the Buddha said, look, monks, make a pagoda for this gentleman. Huh, really? For what? He is an arahant. He was an arahant. The first time a lay person became an arahant and passed away right after, without robes. Because normally arahants cannot be lay people. They must be a monk once right after they became an arahant. Buddha said, make a stupa for this gentleman. Although he is in lay clothes, he is an arahant. So this is a very interesting point where we learn that sutta part. So sutta, and here ananusutta, that means the Buddha says among the mental phenomena, I would say, Dhammas, I have never heard these things before. You have never heard these things before. Now, the idea is that Buddha wants to tell the 5 ascetics that you haven't heard these things before. I haven't heard this before also, but I found. All right? Sutesu. Ananussut. When you say ana means that never, unactual, unheard. Sutesu, heard. So among the unheard, previously unheard Dhamma things, now there arose vision in me. We call it chakku. There arose knowledge in me, called jnana. There arose wisdom in panya. There arose vijja in me. I would say true knowledge, or I would say clear realization. There arose aloko, light in me. That means when he wants to talk about the First Noble Truth, the First Noble Truth arises from previously unheard Dhamma things. I have learned lots of Dhamma things before, mental phenomena, like from the tapasas, ascetics, and so on and so forth. But I never heard this noble truth, the First Noble Truth. Right? Now let's figure out what these words mean. Chakkum udapadi. Chakku. What is chakku? Chakku.
Chakku. Eye, sir.
So he says he got the eye. Is it true?
Yes,
Now the Buddha
signal.
says he got the eye. Is that the normal eye, naked eye? This must be Dhamma eye, not the naked eye. Not the naked eye. Everybody has a naked eye, right? That means Dhammacakku. That means he was able to understand the First Noble Truth through this Dhamma eye. Now, say for instance, when you experience your life with all these pleasures, I would say Rupa, Saddha, Gandha, Rasa, Pottabha, Dhamma. Do you, I would say, see all these pleasures with your naked eye? Mostly, or from the Dhamma? How do you normally see it?
Through the Dhamma eye.
We are supposed to, but primarily from our naked eye, and then we are not able to use our Dhamma eye because Dhamma eye does not arise, does not appear because we are too much troubled or driven by the objects. But now, at this point, the Buddha says he got this Dhamma eye because among the previously unheard things, he got the Dhamma eye. So he was able to understand the First Noble Truth. What is the First Noble Truth, Dhamma folks? Checking your revisions.
Dukkha.
Yeah, tell me in plain English, in layman words. Yeah.
Suffering.
It's
suffering, dukkha. And then the 5 aggregates.
And satisfactory.
How do we properly say this thing? I think I repeatedly told you a couple of days.
I can't hear, Bhante.
Yeah, I repeatedly mentioned this thing many times.
Bhante.
Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe something over here. The Buddha said a very short answer. Let's go by unsatisfactoriness. Okay, so the answer to that question of what the First Noble Truth means is that, in short, Sankittena Panchupadana Kanda Dukkha. In short, any clinging to the 5 aggregates is dukkha. Not 5 aggregates is dukkha. Clinging to the 5 aggregates is dukkha. Is our Rupa dukkha? No. Vedana dukkha? Not fundamentally they are dukkha. Sanya dukkha, not fundamentally. They are not fundamentally dukkha. And then Sanya Sankhara, not fundamentally. not fundamental, primarily. But when they are developed with clinging, yes, then they will lead us to dukkha. That is the first noble truth. Now let me ask somebody here, what is the first noble truth? What is the first noble truth? How do we define it? In a very brief way.
Clinging to the 5 aggregates.
Okay. You caught my last sentence. Huh? I'm going to check again sometimes after. Clinging to the 5 aggregates. That is because Buddha says jati is dukkha, like birth is dukkha, then sickness is dukkha, then aging is dukkha, marana is dukkha, being with people who you don't like is dukkha, separation from the loved ones is dukkha. Then he says, I think some people don't understand what I say. So in brief, clinging to 5 aggregates is dukkha. That means every time when you see jati, jara, vyadi, marana, appiye sampayoga, piye vipayoga, and also yam pichang nalabati tampi dukkha. Wishing a lot of things, but not getting them. You wish things, but not you getting them all the time. Buddha says all these are happening because you cling to the 5 aggregates, because you create that their self exists at that point. All right, then how do we understand the first noble truth? Any clinging to your 5 aggregates, maybe rupa khandha, maybe sanya khandha, vedana, sanya, sankhara, vijnana, any of the clinging is taken as what you call first noble truth. So whenever someone asks you somewhere, can you tell me what does the first noble truth mean? What is the answer to this question? Are you going to say jati, dukkha, jara? Really? Actually, that is really kind of making that person feel bad about his or her own birth. Because I'm born, you're born. You say that this is suffering? This is dukkha? No, I don't think so. Better to say, any clinging, I would say, clinging to your 5 aggregates. Then he might tell, she might tell, what are the 5 aggregates? Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara. This leads to the Sakkaya Ditthi fundamentally. Right? That is the first noble truth. Now, let's go back. Here, now the Buddha says, regarding the first noble truth, okay, he found it, regarding this first noble truth, which means clinging to the 5 aggregates. He actually was able to understand what you call here, Chakku, Jnana, Panya, Vijja, Aloka. All these things appeared to him because he understood the first noble truth in the proper way. All right. Now, we was talking about Chakku. Chakku means Dhamma, eye, and then Jnana means the knowledge. Because any, I would say, phenomenon, at least here we understand it's a phenomenon, Dhamma, also among the phenomena. So he understood that he really came to that true knowledge. Then Panya Udapadi, wisdom arose. And Vijja Udapadi, again, we don't say science arose, we say realization arose. And then Aloko, that means this Aloko light is taken as the opposite of the darkness when somebody is in the moha. Any questions here?
Bhante, that means understood means the Buddha has the Dhamma eye already to understand the first noble truth. That means now I am reading it in English. You explain to me. I understand the dukkha, but I do not understand it with the Dhamma eye. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, Dhammacakku happens to us when you are at least attaining Sotapanna. Now, we take it on the flip side, it is attaining Sotapanna level. We always have this naked eye. We are looking at it from the naked eye, and this switch back to. Sometimes we can switch back to Dhammacakku even for a short time, like a flash, because we have not been able to cultivate this in entirety. We are switching back and forth between Dhammacakku and then the normal Chakku. Yeah. So I think it is kind of it's a permanent ability to see the First Noble Truth with the Dhammacakku. That is what is meant here.
That means, Bhante, only having attained the stage of Satapan, then only we have the Dhamma eye.
Yes, let me show you.
I thought you have to develop the Dhamma eye by understanding the First Noble Truth, not the other way.
Well, interesting. Now, without understanding the Noble Truths, even to a certain extent, you are not going to attain Sotapan. Let me show you. Let me show you how it worked for the monk called Anya Konnani. Then we will see how did Dhammacakku work for him for becoming a Sotapan. Right. Venerable Konnani becomes a Sota. Right. Here's the praise. Something that we have to learn later, but I'm going to show you. Idama Vocha Bhagava, Attamana Panchavakya Bhikkhu. They were very happy, uplifted at hearing what the Buddha said. Imasming Chapana Veya Karanasming Banyamani. Moreover, as the discourse was given to Venerable Konnanya, no defilement, stainless. Dhammacakkum Udapad. That means, do you need to become an Arahant to have the Dhammacakku? No. What happened to Anya Konnanya over here? He simply became a Sotapan. Right? Dhammacakku. Right? Yeah. Dhammacakku. That means we are initially entering into the Dhammacakku when we are into the Sotapan, when we are not into, when we attain Sotapan. Because when you are into Sotapanna, you are guaranteed to attain Nibbana within a certain period of time. Isn't it? Yes. You won't be spending more than 7 lives after. That means you are guaranteed. That means you already acquired the Dhammacakku. All right.
So, Bhante, my question is, whether Kondana attains Sotapan, then only the Dhamma eye arise, or the Dhamma eye arise and he understood the dukkha, then he becomes Sotapan. So which one comes first, Bhante?
It is a
becomes
tricky question.
Sotapan first, or Dhamma
No.
eye arose first?
Yeah. So, well, Sotapanna is the state of mind. It is the state of mind. Now we have a state of mind, right? Our state of mind is struggling with the defilements. Now, not that many, because we are now talking about the Dhamma. We want to learn about Dhamma. So our Kilesa section is under control now. At this point, at least we are withdrawing from the Kilesas because we have an effort. So we are learning. But when you are in your daily life, normal life, you have to work with your people, friends, family, your work, I think you give, what is happening is you go back to your comfort zone. Right? That is what happens. You go back to your comfort zone. You eat whatever you want, you see whatever you want to see, you hear whatever you want to hear. Then what happens, so we are going out of this discussion. So kilesas are coming back to us a lot, by degree, more or less. So Dhammacakku is something that happens to a Sotapanna. Once someone attains Sotapanna, that means he or she is acquiring or getting a Dhammacakku in addition to the naked eye. That means he or she is able to see things as they are. more like objectively, more than the subjective way. Because we always see things by subjectivity, right? We are trying to compare. Okay, yesterday we talked about this. How about today? Yesterday we went to this restaurant. How about this restaurant today? So we are always comparing with subjective knowledge. But when we are more objective, then we are trying to stay low key. We're trying to minimize the comparing issues and then trying to see the unique things inside that particular phenomenon. So Dhammacakka has to be taken as an appearance of this particular Dhamma eye once you became a Sotapanna. I would say it is happening simultaneously. You become a Sotapanna, there arises Dhammacakka. All right, let's continue because of our time issue.
Bhante,
Go back. Yes.
Bhante, what's the difference between Jnana, Panya, and Viccha?
All right, good question. Let's go back here. All right, so
And Aloko also.
Okay, so now, have you ever heard about Yatha Bhuta Jnana Dassana, this Pali word?
As it is. Seeing things as it is.
Okay, I did not add the diacritical marks, so this Yatha Bhuta Jnana Dassana. Now you can see Jnana over here.
Yes.
How do we understand this Pali word? What is this actually, this whole thing? Seeing things as they are. Right? Now, what do we do now actually? Now, not now, in our life. Yatha Bhuta Jnana Adassana. Seeing things as we are. That means we don't have this capacity to see because we are not trying to put it in practice. So here Jnana means objectivity. I would say Vipassana. All right? Vipassana. So I would say Chakkum is Dhamma eye and Jnanam is what you call that. If you go into more details, I would say this objective aspect of what you call seeing. Objective aspect. It's pretty much Vipassana. Jnana. Panya, you know what is Panya, right? Panya is the
wisdom.
Yeah, wisdom, but wisdom has been discussed in many ways. Panya is the provision of our practice. Sila, Samadhi, Panya. So that. Then Vijja Udapadi. Dhamma folks, don't be misunderstood. This part is more relevant to the Buddha, Samma Sambuddha. Why is it? If monk Anya Konnanya was able to go to this point, he would have become an Arahant. But he simply became a Sotapanna. So he only got this Dhammacakka and then go to that Sotapanna state. But this is what happens to a Samma Sambuddha when Samma Sambuddha declares about his full enlightenment, full awakening. So Panya means that's full wisdom. And Vijja, what is Vijja? Vijja, do we have Vijja in our other Pali texts where we know?
Yeah.
Ever heard of them?
Vijjacharana.
Vijjacharana. Where is it? Itipiso Bhagava Arahang Samma Sambuddho Vijjacharana Sampa. That means the Buddha possesses of 8 sciences and 15 charanas, practices. That means the Buddha has eight I would say knowledges, 8 knowledges and then 15 charana practices. There's a sutta called Ambatta Sutta in Digha Nikaya. I think in this sutta, Buddha says it's like, it's just as a bird is trying to eat a fruit. Okay. Now the bird has what you call bird has wings, or I would say feathers. At the same time, he or she has feet. At the same time, he has a peck, maybe something he can eat through his mouth or her mouth. Then the Buddha said, both these two parts are important for the bird to consume something. So he has to fly somewhere, and then he makes sure that now I'm having this particular fruit, I'm going to eat it. So the 8 knowledges and the 15 practices, Vijja, Charana, and then Vijja and Charana, they are equally important. So Buddha now understand that he is possessed of 8 knowledges. What are they? Asavakya, Jnana, Cheto. There are 8 knowledges. So you have to search that again for Vijja. Vijja arose in him. Aloko. Aloko. Is it a normal light? No, it's a all-pervading, I would say, aura, maybe kind of a light in terms of his full enlightenment, full awakening within himself and then all across the universe, right? So I think it's kind of a miraculous thing, because when somebody, there is a literal meaning. The literal meaning is that when someone attains Nibbana, even a person attains Nibbana, he or she is getting a light. What is that light called? Because till you attain Nibbana, you are in the darkness. What is that darkness called?
Avidya.
Yeah, avidya is the higher level of the darkness. We call it moha.
Okay.
What do we have now? Do we have avidya or do we have moha now? We have moha. The one life version of avidya is moha. But sansaric nature of the darkness is avidya. Because of avidya, we run into moha, right? So avidya is a permanent darkness. It's like the sea level where you see that the sunlight does not go further down, right? In the sea, there is an area where sunlight does not go, after that particular level. That area is a very dark area. A lot of vicious animals living there. Even it's pretty difficult for marine biologists to research these areas too sometimes. So we can take the literal meaning. We can also take the spiritual contextual meanings. Literal meaning is that darkness, moha or avijja, it is dispelled when the Buddha attained Samma Sambuddha. On the other hand, when the Buddha attained Buddhahood, then that means there's an all-pervading light that goes across the universe, where even the beings in the apayas, hells, they get to see that. Devas, everybody. It's a miracle. Make sense, isn't it?
Yes.
All right. So we'll continue the rest of the things. Our time. We're gonna go up until
Bhante,
6.
must we make a distinction between avijja and moha, or they can be used synonymously with the same meaning?
No, they
No.
can't be used. That's what I said.
Oh,
Avijja is the larger version of moha.
okay.
It is like empathy and compassion in English. Let's
Okay.
look at it. What is empathy?
Putting yourself in the other person's shoes.
Putting yourself in other people's shoes. We empathize. Does it necessarily mean that we can go and do the help also? Or it is just that you want to empathize within you? Okay, that person is suffering, but I can't do anything. I don't have money to do something. I can't go there. We just have this feeling. I wanted to feel that pain.
Yeah.
Empathy. Then when it comes to compassion, you are able to financially do something. You are able to go there. You are able to do something for it. That's the larger version of that particular empathy. Empathy and compassion, they are two things. In the same way, avijja is the darkness across our sansaric life. Moha is what triggers that avijja. So we don't say we have avijja now. When you do a dana, what do monks tell you? If the monks talk to you like that, huh? When you go for a dana, what do monks say? they are supposed to say, you are creating a good karma, then because of good karmas, there are good results. That is the first thing. Second thing is that with every dana, what should happen is a purification. That is the must. How does that purification happen with the dana? Is it because you have to wash your food well, maybe clean, or maybe you have to do a very clean dana or purified dana? It's not only the cleanliness of the food, but also, most importantly, your mind. Your mind has to be out of lobha, dosa, then lobha, dosa,
Moha.
moha. Do they say your mind has to be out of lobha, dosa, avijja? No. Because avijja is the, what you call, is the thick darkness in our sansaric life. That is what we have to break. We have to break it. We have to deconstruct. Avijja is constructed. Right? It is also the first point where we talk about the Paticca but it is not the first cause, because avijja and asavas are mutually constructive. All right. So it's a difference. There's a difference between moha.
Thank you, Bhante.
We'll then discuss from 59 to 66. I will read because we don't have lots of time. Tanko pana idang dukkhang ariyasa. Now the Buddha says, I'm telling you now what to do with the first noble truth. Parinyeya. Is it here? What you have to do is parinyeya. You have to fully understand the first noble truth. Then what is it? Parinyeya means kichanyana. This is your duty. This is what you are supposed to do. Now you know the truth by Satchanyana, the first thing of the Parivatta. Second is Kichanyana, means you have to parinyaya, you have to fully understand the first noble truth. See? Tankopana idang dukkhang ariya satcha parinyaya. Now that to which this noble truth is unsatisfactoriness to be fully understood. Me bhikkave pubbe ananussutesu dhammesu, so and so forth. The same thing. Huh? Now the Buddha says, there's something interesting out of all. Regarding the first noble truth, I have come to the full what?
Fully understand.
Full understanding. This did not happen to me before. Right? Now I declare, I'm telling you, I have come to that point. So that is what you call Kichanyana of the first noble truth. Parinyaya. And the same thing, right? You can see Chakkung Udapati, Jnanang Udapati. So Dhammacakka arose, Jnana arose, Panya arose, Vijja arose, Aloka arose. Huh?
So Satchayana Bhante is a partial truth, not fully understood.
What do you mean?
No.
No, Satchayana versus Kichayana.
Go back
So,
here.
So Kichayana is fully understood.
No. Here how we need to understand this.
Okay.
Satcha, Kicha, Kata. Let's understand the meaning. Satcha means the full knowledge. You know the full knowledge is this. But you haven't done anything to that.
Oh.
You haven't done it. Let's say this is the BSc degree. You identify this is the BSc degree. But then Kichanyana, what should I do to acquire that degree? What should I do? That means we have to understand the first noble truth. Then Katanyana means now you understand, you have already acquired the degree, received the degree. In the same way, by Satchanyana, you know that there is a knowledge, there's a knowledge about the first noble truth. You understand. Second, you are wondering, what should I do to get that knowledge?
Okay.
What should I do? What is my duties and role to make it happen? At the level of Katanyana, you already earned that knowledge, that understanding. So you declare by yourself that I have fully understood the the first noble truth.
So,
Satcha means
Bhante,
full knowledge, and Kitcha means what should be done. Kata means to make sure that, not to make sure that you declare that you already acquired that particular thing.
Bhante,
Yes.
the Satchayana, when we said it is the mundane understanding of suffering, the worldly aspect of the suffering.
No, I don't think so. It is
No.
not only mundane knowledge, because everybody start from the mundane way of learning, then
That's the Satcha, no.
then transcends into a higher level.
And the higher level is Kitcha.
No,
No, not yet.
let me explain to you. Now, Satchanyana means there is the full knowledge of that particular noble truth. You only know that there is the full knowledge. So you may have to work with your mundane knowledge and then to transcend within that. But Kitchanyana means that there are things you have to do to get to that knowledge. You haven't done them at the first level. You simply know that the truth is available. Mundane wise and transcendental wise. But Kitcha level, what you do is that you have to do what you have to do. I have to understand that I should not cling to the what? I should not cling to the five aggregates. That is what I have to do, right? That is what I'm supposed to do. That is Kitcha. Now you've done very well. Then what happens? Then you have to feel, you can declare, you can tell yourself, I have done understanding. At the same time, I have done everything that I supposed to have done about the first noble truth. So at the Satcha level, nobody finishes. Satcha level is the mere mundane and transcendental understanding about the truth. That understanding is not the realization. It's just a mere understanding, mundane wise and transcendental wise.
Bhante, is it quite similar to Pariyati, Patipati, and Pativeda?
Yeah, there's a close relationship, because Pariyati, well, I mean, that was given from the Sasana, Buddha Sasana level. Pariyati means what you call learning. Patipati is the practice. Pativeda is the
realization.
Attainments. Yeah. But more than that, this is coming from the first discourse of the Buddha. So we would say what you call the learning. But that learning is not learning like normal people, and then understanding what you should do, and then you come to the point that you know you have done. Remember, a lot of arahants in many suttas say, "Katang karaniyang na parang ittatai." I have done everything that I was supposed to do. There's nothing I need to do. There's nothing left over for me, left out, right? That is kata. Satcha, Kitcha, Kata. Now they have come to the Kata, right? Yes. Now, when some people say...
Kata means something you do,
No. Kata is past participle. You'd already done before. PP, past participle. So, there's an interesting question. Now, when someone says, I attain this one, I attain this state, then you can ask that person, can you declare that you have done everything, you have nothing left in terms of your asavas and kilesas? That is a good question to ask from anybody who do lots of things about cultivation. If they say, no, I think I still have some ego, I still have some this and that. So that is a different thing. All right.
So Bhante, that means for Chakung Utapadi, Yana Utapadi, Panya Utapadi, Vicha Utapadi, Aloko Utapadi to arise, Satcha, Kitcha, and Kata has to be completed.
They arise as a provision of all, as a provision of the Ti-Parivatta associated with a particular noble truth.
Okay.
So that means if you really want to attain, I would say here, Sammasambuddhahood, definitely, because that's about the Buddha. Sammasambuddhahood Because the problem here is that once this Ti-Parivatta, the 3 rounds or 3 perspectives and the 12 aspects finish, then what happened? There is something going through many realms.
Yes.
Go to the heavens, go to the Brahma world, go to the many worlds. That would not go if this would not have happened from the Buddha side, Samma Sambuddha side, right? So rather than taking this from a normal Arahant perspective, I would say this is particularly relevant to a Samma Sambuddha. Because Arahants don't have 8 Vijja. So you can find out some of the things are relevant to Arahant, some of the things are relevant to a Sotapanna also. So I would say this is an exclusively a framework for Samma Sambuddhas, because before they trying to start spreading Dhamma. So Satcha, Kiccha, Kata. So they are here taken for the first noble truth. So we can talk about the second noble truth with regard to these 3, and then the 3 from the Dwadasakara next week. Any questions?
So when Venerable Kondanya attained the Dhamma I, has he achieved Satcha, Kiccha, and Kata, all the 3 water? When he attained the Dhamma
I don't think we can take exactly the same way like that, because here Buddha says what happened with him. Here, what the Buddha said, what happened with him. After listening to that story, he attained Sotapanna with Dhammacakka. It doesn't mean he also got all the Vijja and Panya, everything. If he got Panya, he would have been an Arahant. So this is the story how the ascetic Siddhartha attained Samma Sambuddha, and what happened to him with regard to the first noble truth.
Okay, thank you, Bhante.
All right, so the rest is the same, so I'm not gonna repeat the rest. But what we are going to do that, we're going to do the Ti-Parivatta, now the second Ti-Parivatta for the second noble truth, and the 3 perspectives for the second noble truth. But any questions so far?
Bhante?
Yes. Go ahead.
I'd like to understand that, can we see that the first one's the Satcha, is it? Let me see, is the other page I have. Okay, Satcha, can I see that it is like knowledge been arose? Because the wisdom arose, can it be at the state of having to do wisdom, you know about it, that things you have to do it? Then the realization come about when it is kata, I have done it. Is it like that?
Well, we have to understand this framework of Ti-Parivatta and Dwadasakara is very exclusive to the Samma Sambuddha.
Okay.
Not for us.
Okay.
Exclusive to Samma Sambuddha.
Okay.
Because Shakyamuni Samma Sambuddha is saying that this is how Ti-Parivatta and Dwadasakara came to me. Can we just by becoming an Arahant, can we make a Dhammacakka to go everywhere to all these heavens and Brahma? No, it's not. It's only for the Samma Sambuddhas can. There were many other Arahants who became Arahant. They couldn't set this in motion. Dhammacakka can be only set in motion by a Samma Sambuddha. But you can find out certain things out of here for an Arahant, like Dhammacakka only for Sotapanna, like that. So do not try to connect your own spiritual practice, our own
understanding,
to the Ti-Parivatta and Dwadasakara. That's not going to work.
Okay.
Thank you. So Bhante, the wisdom can refer to the right vision and a right view and right intention of the Noble Eightfold Path. Does that right?
That is for a normal person who is going to be enlightened. But for the Buddha, his panya is way expanded than that. This is about his panya.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Bhante.
Okay.
All right. Any questions? I think as much as many people talk about the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, a lot of people think this is my own way to attain Nibbana, which is a pretty big mistake, because at the beginning the Buddha says, Pabbajitena nasevitabba, only for the monks, particularly for monks. But we can find out the lay version, Putajjana version here also. What is the Putajjana version? We have to understand the Four Noble Truths, in a bit deeper way. At the same time, we have to follow the Noble Eightfold Path. The rest of the information are very, very exclusive to the Samma Sambuddha. So we have to keep that in mind. So specifically, this is the place where the Buddha proclaims, I now teach Dhamma. And this is what I found among all the previously unheard mental phenomena. I found this. And then I'm teaching. And then this was spreaded to all the heavens, Brahma worlds, right? Anya Kondanya, so I would say Kondanya, ascetic Kondanya, turn to a Sotapanna, not by becoming somebody who is conscious, very much conscious of the Ti-Ratana and Dwadasakara. He was simply listening to the Dhamma talk. This whole Dhamma talk. Then what happens? There arises Dhammacakku in him. Ti-Ratana and Dwadasakara, this framework is only exclusive to a Samma Sambuddha. All right, any other question? We'll take one more and then we'll wrap this up. It's 10 o'clock. I see somebody sent it. Theory, practical experiences. Yeah, we can find something similar. Like Pariyatti, Patipatti, Pativeda. But I think the framework in the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta is much more contextual and super exclusive to a Samma Sambuddha. We'll take that away. But the idea, if you want to find a framework for you, like our Putajjana version, I would say, of course, we start with the knowledge part, but that knowledge has to be understood both mundane and then extra mundane. I would say transcendental. And there it will arise something, what you call your role, what you are supposed to do, kitcha. And then if you are lucky enough, if you get enlightened, then that will be the next. But this is exclusive to a Samma Sambuddha. But you will find some certain elements in your path to becoming a Sotapanna or Samma Sambuddha. Who knows, there may be a Bodhisattva over here, right? We can never say, right?
So for us lay people, we just stick to the Noble Eightfold Path.
Well, we should not condemn our own what you call elements of our spirituality. There may be a Bodhisattva over here. Who knows?
Yeah.
We never know. That's why in Mahayana they say you don't do anything wrong to anybody. All are Bodhisattvas. Right? It's good. And Bodhisattvas are letting you enlighten. They are waiting. They give you, hey, you go first. You go first. That mentality, because some of the very what you call ignorant, some of the Buddhists in some practices, they might say, no, I have to practice meditation. I have to go first. That might give them some selfish thoughts that I don't care other people. I do my meditation, I do dana, I'm going to go to Nibbana right away. So that kind of thinking is a bit selfish, not bit, extremely selfish. I would say when you are a Buddhist, do not ever underestimate. There may not be Bodhisattvas with us. Who knows? This is a samsaric journey. Yes. So when you say not for us, we have choices. We'll make it. And we'll see how things work.
Bhante, there's a saying that when you're stuck in the mud, how to help another person to get out of the mud.
Yeah, that is in the Salleka Sutta.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that is an example, but it does not work in the same way also, because I don't think we can compare our status level of our Dhamma path is like an elephant stuck in the mud all the time. So when we are blessed enough, we can do a lot of things to other people. I think that might relate to a bodhisattva, because bodhisattvas are trying to, like, for example, if the Shakyamuni Buddha as a bodhisattva did not pursue his bodhisattva vows and then, had not fulfilled his perfections, he would have not become the Buddha, and then we would not be this blessed, right? So somebody did that for us, right? And he refused to become an arahanta. You know that?
Yeah.
You will never refuse, huh? He refused. He refused to become an arahant. His friends all became arahant.
Sumedha.
Yeah, being the Sumedha ascetic, right? So that means for him, yes, so everyone is stuck, so I have to pursue that thing. But when we pursue our Dhamma journey, we have to help other people also, because that will help us to minimize our Sakkaya Ditthi. Because what will happen to many is that, let's say, okay, now I am on a right track of pursuing my Dhamma path, and then you are doing too many things for yourself, because you meditate, you cultivate yourself, then you are highly likely coming up with some Sakkaya Ditthi. Now, I am me, myself, right? So just to minimize the, I would say, extreme levels of that selfish nature, it is better to, time to time, I would say, focus on other people too. Be helpful, practice mudita, practice dana, the Buddha said those things. Otherwise, you will come up with lots of Sakkaya Ditthi. A lot of people think Sakkaya Ditthi is the bad version of Sakkaya Ditthi. Like when you are not practicing Dhamma, you are coming up with Sakkaya Ditthi, right? Mostly. It is true. But people don't know that they're coming with another level of Sakkaya Ditthi from doing good things only by focusing on themselves, being selfish. As you come to the point, okay, I have good sila, I'm intoxicated now, right? I do the best meditation, so you are intoxicated, you have mother. Then I practice dana better than other people, coming up with another mother. All these are hindrances to us.
Yes.
All these stop us in, going forward in the right path. We may go, but with lots of kilesas after that. So good Sakkaya Ditthi, bad Sakkaya Ditthi, both have to be minimized. If you could overcome the both. All right, so let's wrap this up from here. So if you have any more questions, you can bring them to next Friday.
Okay.
And I think we are going to discuss about the second noble truth and how the second noble truth applies to the Tiparivatta and then another tree of the Dwadasakara. And I told you today, this will be more exclusive to Samma Sambuddha. Do not try to put you in this framework to see that. Then you might be thinking, oh, do I get the same knowledge just like the Buddha? Yeah, you will never. All right. So may all the good karmas which we've been accumulating today be transferred to all the departed relatives who passed away in the name of all of us. If they were reborn in a place of discomfort, pain, may they be able to be reborn in a place of comfort, I would say happiness. If they are already in a place of comfort, may they be able to practice more Dhamma and finally attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Dhamme ñāti nang hūtu sukhitā Idamme ñāti nang hūtu sukhitā ñāte Idamme ñāti nang hūtu sukhitā ñāte. May all the devas, nagas and mahitikas share all these good karmas. May they be well and happy. May they be able to protect and bless all of us, including Reverend monks, for good health, quality of life, prosperity, safety. Finally, may Devanaga Mahidika also attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu. Ittavata cha ammihi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti sindhya Ittavatacha ammihi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ittavatacha ammihi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Akasatta cha bhummatta devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu lokasasanam. Akasatta cha bhummatta devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu desanam. Akasatta cha bhummatta devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkang tumang paranti chirang rakkang tutwang sadanti.
Sadhu,
This
sadhu,
indefinite samsara, may we be always in the company of the Kalyana Mittas, noble friends, and not with the Papa Mittas, bad friends who can take us to deviations of the path. Thinking thus, we're going to recite this stanza as a wish. Imina punya kammena mami bala samagamu satang samagamu hotu yava nibbana pantiyam. Finally, may all the good karmas which we've been accumulating today, especially by talking about the Ti-Ratana and tree of the Dwadasakara regarding the first noble truth, be supportive and help all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nirvana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Abhivadana silissa nityang vaddhapachayino chattaru dhamma vaddhanti ayuvannu sukhang balang ayurarugya sampatti sagga sampatti nivacha ato nibbana sampatti iminati samijjatu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Wishing you a good night and
Good night.
and
Good
night,
looking forward to
Bhante.
seeing all of you next Friday.
Bhante, one question.
Okay.
When we share
Yes, please.
knowledge with Bhuta,
Mhm.
Bhuta means spirits, ghosts, unseen beings, or
Not necessarily. Bhuta means everybody who is living now, who has
everybody?
vitality. Oh, I'm a Bhuta, you are Bhuta. So,
Oh.
and then yes,
Then Pana is also living beings, right?
Pana is another word for Bhuta. Now, actually, when you take out the vitality of the Bhuta, it is Pana. You know,
Oh.
vitality? Panatipata.
Ah.
Causing someone's vitality to fall. That is Panatipata. We don't say causing someone's Bhuta to fall. Bhuta is a generic term for everybody. Bhuta va sambhavesi va sabbi satta. Bhuta means everybody who is alive now, who is living, not yet dead. If someone is dead, we have another term for those people. What is that?
There is Satta. Satta
Satta
also
is
same.
also another term. Satta, Bhuta, Pana, they are all
Same.
not same. They are meaning anybody who is living now.
Living.
But when you look at the living beings, we look at living beings differently. Bhuta means just anybody who is living now. Pana means those who have a vitality. Satta means those who are attaching to everything. Bodhisatta, someone who attaches to the Bodhi.
Oh, okay.
Satta, someone who's attaching to the kilesas. We are all Satta, right? So
Yeah.
the living beings, but they were defined in terms of different contexts. So anybody who passed away are called Peta.
Eta.
Eta, okay.
Anybody who passed away, now going to be reborn, are called Sambhavesi. Sambhavesi. You have to send metta to all of these people. Bhuta va
Sambhavesi.
Sambhavesi va sabbe satta bhava.
That is waiting to be reborn.
Sorry?
Sambhavesi waiting to be reborn.
Well, I mean, that's short, probably without a time. Yeah, Sambhavesi. We will be Sambhavesi, yeah, maybe someday in the future. We are lining up.
Thank you for the clarification, Bhante. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay, good night, everybody. Thank
Good night,
you.
Bhante. Good night, everyone. Thank you very much, Bhante.
Good night, Bhante.
Thank you,
Good night, Bhante.
Bhante.
Thank
Good
you.
night.